So, here we are. Hello friends and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. So in this episode I will make a comparison between the latest greatest 2025 specialized TARMAC SL8 Expert, which retails for $7,000, and the latest greatest Canyon Aeroad CF SLX8 road bike, which retails at $6,600. So you see, recently I got many questions about these two bikes because they sit in a very similar price bracket, and a lot of people, when they are buying this aerodynamically optimized one bike to rule them all, they are definitely considering this latest greatest Canyon Aeroad and also the specialized TARMAC SL8 Expert. So let's see what you are really getting for your hard-earned money, and also at the end I will tell you which one of these bikes should you just go ahead and buy and which one you should just shortlist. Okay, we can kick off with the 2025 specialized TARMAC SL8 Expert road bike for $7,000. So this bike is what Specialized will call, all-in-one bike to rule them all. So basically aerodynamically optimized and light, so ready for climbing any steep mountains. And you can definitely see this on the silhouette of this bike, the way everything is sculptured to be as as fast as possible in a straight line, but also to be as light as possible. When you look at the paint schemes, Specialized offers here two paint schemes. One is this very classical gloss white paint scheme, and then there is this beautiful, in my opinion, deep lake, or they would call it like a green pearl metallic paint scheme. Absolutely stunning. I would definitely go for this green metallic deep lake paint scheme. Okay, now let's talk about the main components of this bike and what are you really getting for $7,000. So speaking about the frame and the fork on this bike, so this frame is the carbon fiber 10R carbon fiber frame and the matching fork. This is the second tier of the carbon fiber that Specialized can do. Also keep in mind here that Specialized offers a lifetime warranty on their carbon fiber frames, and this carbon fiber frame and the fork come with the 12mm through axles, both front and the back, and also we have here a threaded bottom bracket, which is absolutely excellent in my opinion. So when you look at this carbon fiber frame and the fork, this 10R level of carbon fiber frame and the fork from Specialized, absolutely no complaints here from me. It is a proven carbon fiber frame, and also Specialized has good heritage and knowledge in making quality carbon fiber frames and the forks. When you look at the seat post and the saddle on this bike, so the seat post is a carbon fiber seat post from Specialized, which is excellent stuff. It's going to soak up some of the smaller road bumps, and it is of course aerodynamically optimized. And the saddle is the body geometry saddle, so the in-house brand of Specialized. They make excellent saddles, by the way, and whenever I have used some of the body geometry saddles, I truly love them. But as always, saddles are a personal preference, and it's very easy to replace if you don't like this saddle. Now when you look at the handlebar and the stem on this bike, this is a neat solution in my opinion. So you will have a kind of I think they call it like a one-piece stem. I think it's a carbon fiber stem, and then it's paired with a classical aluminum handlebar. So at least when it comes to this aluminum handlebar, nothing is proprietary here. You can easily swap it if you really want in the future, for example, to buy yourself a carbon fiber handlebar or change the width of the handlebar. With this stem, I'm not so sure. I think it's a bit of a proprietary solution here, so you might need to buy something directly from Specialized if you are changing the length of this stem. One good thing that they have done here, as you can see, the cables for the hydraulic disc brakes are running below the handlebar and then into the frame. So very nice, neat solution. If there is any need for servicing anything, it's going to be easy accessible. And as I mentioned, if you are replacing this handlebar, again, it's going to be easy to replace because nothing is proprietary here. So this is a very nice and neat solution. This is what I like to see. Okay, speaking about the group set on this bike, what are you gonna get? So you will get a Shimano Ultegra Di2 12-speed electronic group set, so shifters, front mech and rear mech. Also you will have the Shimano Ultegra 12-speed chain, and we have here the Shimano Ultegra double chain rings at the front, so this is 5236 chain rings in the front, and Shimano's Ultegra cassette 1130 cassette. So now if you live in a very mountainous area, maybe this 1130 cassette is not going to be enough for you to climb some steep mountains, so maybe you will need to upgrade, for example, 1132, 1134 cassette. But as it is now, you see, it's kind of geared towards more, going as fast as possible. I will mention here that I wish that Specialized has included a power meter on this bike. It doesn't come with a power meter, and I think on these price levels of $7,000, it should definitely be included a single-sided power meter. Generally speaking, Shimano Ultegra Di2 electronic group set, absolutely superb group set. I have no complaints here, and definitely it's gonna work perfectly fine. Now we can talk about the wheel set on this bike and the tires on this bike. But before I do that, before I forget, when it comes to the braking system on the bike, Shimano Ultegra hydraulic disc brakes front and the back with the Shimano Ultegra braking rotors. This is all fine and superb, but the front braking rotor is 160 millimeters, excellent stuff, good heat dissipation, and then at the back they are using the 140 millimeters braking rotor, a tiny braking rotor. I never understand why bike manufacturers do this, so again I wish that Specialized would include 160 millimeter braking rotor also at the back, because ultimately you need this good heat dissipation and stopping power. Now, speaking about the wheel set on this bike, as I was saying, so this is the Aeroad Rapide C38 wheel set. So carbon fiber wheel set from Specialized. It is a classical, clincher, tubeless ready wheel set, which is absolutely fine and perfect. The rim height is 38 millimeters and internal rim width is 21 millimeters. I wish that internally this rim width is wider, I don't know, for example 23, 25 millimeters, just because this is the trend where all the wheel sets in the future are going forward. So this is something that, again, I wish that it's a bit wider internal than these 21 millimeters. When it comes to the spokes on this wheel set, 24 spokes front and the back, they are using a DT Swiss competition spokes, excellent stuff. And also when it comes to the hubs on this wheel set, so this is a DT Swiss 370 hub. These hubs are with the DT Swiss 18-tooth ratchet system, so not, best creme de la creme that DT Swiss can do, and the total weight of this wheelset approximately 1,600 grams. So all in all, a decent wheelset, very good wheelset, but I wish that, again, the internal rim width is wider than these 21 millimeters, and they could have used a bit better DT Swiss hubs than these DT Swiss 370. They could have, for example, moved to DT Swiss 240 hubs. So just, keep that in mind when we are discussing the Canyon bike. So all in, as you see, this is the package that you are getting with the Specialized TARMAC SL8 Expert for $7,000. And I forgot to mention here that the tires on this bike are the Specialized S-Works tires, 26 millimeters front and the back. And it would be nice, in my opinion, here that they have included immediately 28 millimeter tires, both front and the back, because ultimately you want huge air volume inside the tire because the bike ride is going to be much more smoother, and I don't think there is any big aerodynamic penalty between 26 millimeter tire and 28 millimeter tire. Okay, now we can move on to the Canyon Aeroad CF SLX8 road bike with a retail price of $6,600. So there is a price difference of about $400 between these two bikes, but Canyon is always famous for really being aggressive with the pricing of their bikes. So this Canyon Aeroad CF SLX8, the latest greatest from Canyon, is a fully heavily aerodynamically optimized bike, much more than the specialized bike. You can definitely see it in the shaping of the carbon fiber frame and the fork and also some other components. And when it comes to the paint schemes on this bike, you have two paint schemes on offer. One is this, as they call it, ruby red, beautiful metallic red paint scheme, and then this very classical crystal white paint scheme. So both of these bikes offer two paint schemes, which is absolutely, nice, and they definitely should offer, because we are paying somewhere between $6,500 and $7,000. Okay, speaking about this Canyon Aeroad bike, so what are you getting for $6,500? So let's kick off with the frame and the fork. So this frame is the Canyon Aeroad CF SLX carbon fiber frame and the matching fork. 12mm through axles both front and the back, and you see heavily aerodynamically optimized the endings of these through axles. And in this instance, Canyon is using the press fit bottom bracket on this bike. All the tubing, all the shapes on the bike, heavily aerodynamically optimized to go as fast as possible in a straight line. Also, when you look at the seat post, famous Canyon carbon fiber seat post, aerodynamically optimized, and the saddle is the Selle Italia SLR saddle, another excellent saddle. If you have tried, Selle Italia saddles, I have used few of them. If you don't like it, again, it's very easy to replace in the future. Now, speaking about the handlebar and the stem, so this Canyon bike uses a one-piece carbon fiber handlebar and the stem. Of course, this is done for the aerodynamic reasons, and with this design from Canyon, you will have their we can call it almost like a proprietary solution where you can adjust the width of these handlebars, as you can see here. I think it's like plus minus 50 millimeters, and also you can adjust the height of the handlebar. I think it's about 20 millimeters height adjustment, and also with this new version of one piece handlebar and the stem, you can change the endings of the handlebar. So out of the box, it comes with the classical, vertically positioned handlebar endings, but you can change them for these more aerodynamically optimized position. Of course, you will have to buy these new handlebar endings separately, but it's a very neat solution from Canyon, and very nice to have this option. Also, with this carbon fiber handlebar and the stem, they are delivering this specific holder for your bike computer, which is again a nice addition to this. Of course, I have to mention here that with this one piece handlebar and the stem, since everything is proprietary, you have to just make sure when you are buying this bike that really the length of the stem and this kind of width of the handlebar is really what you are looking for, because you will have a little bit of adjustments available once when you buy this bike. If you need to buy or adjust your position more finely, then maybe you'll need to buy some new handlebar and the stem directly from Canyon. Also, when you look at with this solution of one piece handlebar and the stem, of course all the cables for hydraulic disc brakes are running through the handlebar, through the stem, so a bit more complicated solution if you need to service anything in the future. Or to be precise, it's not like you're going to service it at home, you'll probably bring it to your local mechanic, so a bit more work for them. Okay, speaking about the group set on this bike, so what are you getting? So everything here is again the Shimano Ultegra Di2 group set, shifters, front mech, rear mech, also the double chain rings at the front, the Shimano Ultegra, and the cassette Shimano Ultegra, in this instance again 1130 cassette. And I have to mention here that these chain rings 5236, and they come with the power meter. So this is a single-sided 4-eye power meter, excellent addition to this bike. And in my opinion, specialized bike should also include some kind of single-sided power meter. So this is a very strong advantage for the Canyon bike, in my opinion. Also, I have to mention here that the chain they are using is a 12-speed chain from the mountain bike world. Doesn't matter, you can use any 12-speed Shimano compatible chain, so that's totally fine. And generally speaking about this Shimano Ultegra Di2 group set, as I mentioned, a total, proper, reliable, superb group set from Shimano, electronic group set. I mean, nothing special to add here, is going to work perfectly fine. Now let's talk about the hydraulic disc brakes on this bike. So the front and the back, Shimano Ultegra hydraulic disc brakes with the Shimano Ultegra braking rotors. This is all excellent. And then we come up to the same problem with the Specialized bike, and this is that the front braking rotor, 160 millimeters, excellent stuff and good heat dissipation. And then again, at the back, a small 140 millimeter braking rotor. Again, I mean, I wish that they are including 160mm braking rotor because you want this good heat dissipation at the back. You know, sometimes if you are going down a very steep mountain, and let's say, you know, you are going down for like 10 kilometers, you can easily overheat this rear braking rotor. So yeah, I wish it's a 160mm braking rotor at the back, but it's not a big problem if you are upgrading this in the future. You can always, you know, upgrade this rotor. Now let's talk about the wheelset on this bike, which is again one of the huge highlights in my opinion. So here we are speaking about the DT Swiss ARC 1400 D-cut wheelset, a carbon fiber wheelset, 50mm deep. Again, we run into a problem here that internal rim width is 20mm, which is again very narrow. DT Swiss really needs to update these wheels to, you know, hopefully, you know, 25mm internal width. But this wheelset comes with the superb DT Swiss 240 hubs, and these are the hubs with the Ratchet 36 system, stunning hubs, and also DT Swiss aero spokes on this wheelset, and the total weight of this wheelset, again, approximately 1,600 grams, so on the same level as that Roval wheelset, but much more advanced in the rim depth, 50mm, and also the hubs DT Swiss 240, much better hubs than those hubs on the Roval wheelset, which are DT Swiss 370. So absolutely a stunning piece of engineering, but needs updating in the future, specifically because of the internal rim width should be much wider. I forgot to mention here, of course, this DT Swiss wheelset is tubeless ready wheelset, the same as the Roval wheelset, both of them tubeless ready. Tires on this Canyon bike are the superb Continental GP 5000, and again, I'm not so sure why they are doing this here. So the front tire is 25mm and the rear tire is 28mm. So probably there's some aerodynamic reason why to use 25mm tire at the front, but again, I wish that it's like 28mm front and the back to give you nice air volume in a tire and a nice smooth bike ride. Again, what's the aerodynamic penalty by running 28mm tire versus 25mm tire? I don't think it's too much, but okay, Canyon has decided to do it out of the box, so just, you know, keep that in mind. So in a summary, if you are in the market between these two bikes, and one thing to mention also is what's the weight of these two bikes. So we look at the TARMAC SL8 Expert in some kind of size 56. This bike is going to be approximately 7.2 kilograms excluding the pedals. Definitely the Canyon Aeroad in the similar size is going to be a bit heavier, so I would say for a similar sized Canyon is probably going to be about 7.5 kilograms, so definitely a bit heavier bike than that TARMAC SL8 Expert. So when you look at the, in a summary, when you look at the TARMAC SL8 Expert at $7,000 US, and you also have an option to buy the Canyon Aeroad for $6,600 US, my advice to you would be to first try to get your hands on the Canyon Aeroad, because in my opinion, if you kind of disregard a little bit cheaper price, definitely the huge advantage of this bike is, in my opinion, the DT Swiss ARC wheelset, much better wheelset than that Roval wheelset, and also you get power meter included with this bike, where with the TARMAC it doesn't come with the power meter. But I'm aware that, you know, sometimes the sizing and the availability of Canyon Aeroad can be very limited. I mean, at the moment of this recording, many of the sizes are totally out, again, depending on your paint scheme you are choosing from. And then definitely, you know, if you can't get your hands on that bike, this TARMAC SL8 Expert has a good price point from Specialized, and of course it's going to be a bit more expensive than Canyon, because with Specialized you are definitely paying for the heritage of the Specialized, and a bit of the brand appeal of the Specialized bikes. Because I have to admit, whenever I see these new SL8 bikes out there on the road, I have to admit they look excellent live in person. So definitely a bit of heritage and a bit of this kind of prestige that you are getting by running a Specialized bike. So I think this is gonna be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!